Thank you, Alan. Um, Again, my name is Tony Levine. I coach football at the University of Houston, and I'm here with my bride. It'll be 11 years this Saturday. My wife, Erin, who's seated in the back. Our four children, Ben, who's 8, Asher is 6, Willa, she is 4, and Eli is 2, and probably giving the babysitter right now a fit somewhere on the premises. Before I give my testimony, I'd like to maybe just piggyback something off of what Alan mentioned when he first came up here with the announcements. And I do. We've been here 4 years now, and I see some new faces, some new and yet familiar faces, and certainly some faces that we've come to know over the 4 years we've been here. And I guess some advice going back to our first year, which would be three years ago at this point, if you ever feel overwhelmed or you ever want to strike up a conversation, and maybe I'm talking to the men a little bit more than the women, you can never go wrong with saying, "Hey, coach." And a guy will look at you and you can start talking to him. Or if you forget a name, certainly I haven't done that, but I think my wife has called somebody coach this evening already. But again, I'm honored to be up here. You know, when Twig and Alan approached me 6 months ago and asked me if I'd give my testimony on the first night, I said I'd be honored to. I'd love to be up here. And then I turned to my wife rather, and said, "What is a testimony?" And the reason being is I'm not only born and raised in St. Paul, Minnesota, where it is quite cold, but I was also born and raised Jewish, and had a bar mitzvah at age 13, and played Division I college football. Got into obviously coaching, and one of my first stops was down in Auburn, Alabama, and ran across some great people that have influenced my life. Chet Williams, who I haven't seen since I left Auburn until tonight, and amazing how God works in those ways. I haven't seen him in 11 or 12 years. And certainly Eddie Gran, who's now at the University of Cincinnati. But I can remember like it was yesterday having conversations not only with Chet, but with Eddie, and vividly even sitting in our parking lot in Eddie's blue pickup truck as he was the special teams coach and running backs coach, and I was a graduate assistant, and just talking about life and the Lord and what it's done in his life, and that was probably the starting point of why I'm standing here in front of you tonight. I met my wife Erin at Auburn. We met really the first couple of weeks we were there. She chased me around for about a year till I said yes, I'd go on a date with her. No, she'll tell a different story, but left Auburn, and Eddie and Chet both talked about the FCA coaches camp at Black Mountain, and this was before we were even engaged. It's something that Eddie had been going to. I know he's been here with his entire family 10, 11, 12 years, and Erin and I got married. We started moving around to Ruston, Louisiana for 8 months, and Louisville, Kentucky for 3 years. And again, 3 years ago, really probably 4 years ago, we said next summer we're planning our entire summer around the FCA camp at Black Mountain. And again, I guess I want to make clear at this point, I was bald at that point, but I was also still Jewish, and I said, okay, let's do it. And we had started a family, and we came up here 3 years ago for the first time. And like Alan also alluded to, and Brett alluded to as well, you blink and it'll be Friday mid-morning, and you'll be driving down the mountain and wishing the week had not ended. So it goes by so quickly. Again, we came 3 years ago for the first time, and I told Erin this, I think, a year ago. I vividly remember leaving a chapel service one of those nights. I believe it was the final night of that first year we were here, and just walking out this building, going across what I'll call the bridge, and going along the railing and looking down to where the water's flowing, and telling myself, I know I'm going to come to faith, and I know it's going to be here one day. And that happened a year ago, almost 1 year ago exactly. It was Thursday night, and again, it's coming here. You hear families and you hear individuals talk about it's been life-changing for them, And if you're new here, you can look around, or you can think to yourself, well, that's interesting to me, or I don't see that, or I don't get that, and you'll know what people are talking about by Friday. I promise you. And if you can't feel Jesus and God here this week and see Him, you'll see Him every day and in everything, whether it's raining or the sun's out. You'll see Him in fathers and husbands and wives and mothers, and it's an incredible, incredible week. And you'll hear individuals talk about it's life-changing, and it truly, truly is. This is something we will always do. We'll be here every summer, and I've heard Coach Gran talk about he's raised his kids on the mountain, and that's something we're going to do as well. So again, I'm honored to be up here. Enjoy the week. I would say keep your hearts open, trust in these huddle groups, and trust and let your guard down, and there's going to be a lot of love up here on the mountain this week. Thank you again. God bless.